Hi, welcome to Lifespan Development. So this video is just going to give you an overview of the course materials and how to access and complete assignments. So the first thing we're going to start by looking at is the course syllabus that I provided in an email to the entire class. The syllabus has also been posted on Campus Cruiser. In the event you haven't been able to access it via the email, or for some reason if you did not receive the email. So at this time, I hope everyone had an opportunity to read through the syllabus just so that you have an understanding of the course expectations. Also listed in the syllabus, you'll see here is the required textbook for the course, which is the Exploring Lifespan Development 3rd edition. This is available at the bookstore. Sometimes students have also been able to find it maybe cheaper at Amazon or another site like that. So when you scroll through the syllabus, you'll see that there are the expected course outcomes listed, as well as the course content areas. This is going to kind of just give you a breakdown of how grades will be assigned. And of note here would be like the assignments that basically your grades are going to be based on. And so we're going to go through all of the assignments, just so that everyone has an understanding of how to submit all of the assignments. And also down here, you'll see that there's kind of like a course reading schedule, just to kind of help everyone stay on pace with the course. So you should have seen that in the email I provided registration instructions for the My Development Lab course site. So that's going to be really a core component of this course. Everyone is required to purchase the access code. The course ID is listed on the syllabus. It's also listed. Let me just minimize this for a second. I'm going to pull up the My Development Lab registration instructions that were provided to the class. So you'll see here instructions for how to register for the My Development Lab. At this time, if students are not able to purchase the access code, you can sign up for the 2-week temporary access pass, which will allow you to just go in, familiarize yourself with the site, and to be able to begin completing assignments so that you don't fall behind. And then just before the temporary pass, the temporary access expires, you would just need to purchase the access code so that you have full access for the course site throughout the semester. And again, this is going to be important because most of the assignments will be submitted through the My Development Lab course site. So essentially, you won't really be able to do most of the work in the course without having access to this site. So there's the link included here and the registration instructions. And now I'm just going to pull up the website here. So you'll notice that when you go to the Pearson My Lab website, you'll be prompted to either register if you haven't done so already. Once you've already signed up initially, then you'll just sign in. So one thing that I should mention is that I have a Mac computer. For some reason, let's close this out. The MyPsych Lab course site seems to work better with Google Chrome. So if you're using a Mac or Apple computer, then you want to make sure that you download, if you haven't already, maybe Google Chrome, because students have encountered some issues in the past trying to use the Safari browser to complete some assignments. So yours will probably look a little bit different when you sign in. As an instructor, I just kind of have different things available here. So the one you're going to be accessing is going to be the Lifespan Development Spring 17. And then again, the access code manual 95462, which has been provided. So once you go in, you will notice that all the way to the left, you're going to have a few options. And again, your options on this select menu here will probably, or not probably, are definitely going to be different than mine. But the ones that you really need to pay attention to are the assignment calendar, and My Virtual Life. There are also some other resources available to you, and student grades. One thing that I want to make very clear is that there are a lot of like assignments and different things and different materials you can access through the My Development Lab course site. You are only responsible for completing the assignments that are indicated on the syllabus and the course assignment schedule. So if you choose to do something else that's not listed on the syllabus or the course assignment schedule, even though the grades might show up in the system, they will not be factored into your overall grade for the course. So I emailed as well this assignment calendar. So let's look at that for a minute. And it outlines the different assignments and the due dates for those assignments. So the first two types of assignments that we're going to look at now, you have the experience the media assignments here. And then we have the chapter quizzes. So if you notice that there are due dates listed for the experience the media assignments and the chapter quizzes. It's important to make note of the due dates, one, because that's when the assignments are due, but also this is how you will actually be able to locate the assignments in the Pearson My Development Lab course site. So the assignments are available for you to complete at any time. They just must be completed by the due date, 11:59 p.m. on the assigned date. But, you know, for example, this assignment that's due April 9th, Identity and Emerging Adulthood, you could actually go in and complete it now and just get it out the way, but it must be completed by April 9th, 11:59 p.m. So what we typically do is you go into click on this. You go into the My Psych Lab course site, and you'll notice that there is the assignment calendar tab. You click on the assignment calendar and you go to the due date of the assignment. So the first assignment, the chapter 1 quiz, is due on February 5th. So you'll notice that there's a little alarm clock or a clock symbol on the dates where assignments are due. And you'll notice that most assignments are due Sunday. So what you then would do is just click on the due date of the assignment, just like I just clicked on February 5th, and you'll see take the chapter 1 exam. You click on open, and then you will be directed to complete the exam. So the chapter exams are about 25 questions each. You have 2 attempts to complete the exam, which means you can take the exam twice, or quiz. You can take it twice, and you get credit for the highest score, not the last one completed. So let's say if you take it the first time, you get maybe like a 90. You take it the second time, you get an 80. You would get credit for the 90. So again, you get credit for the highest score, not the last attempt. And you have 2 times to take the exam. So essentially that's what you would do. You would then be directed to go through the 25 questions on the exam. The beauty of this, I think, is that you will get your grades right away once you submit the exam. So you'll have an idea, you'll be able to kind of know how you're progressing in the course. So that would be, close out of this, the exams. So there are 2 different types of assignments that we're really going to be looking at the assignment calendar for. One, the chapter exams or quizzes, and then we also have what we call these experience the media assignments. So these are short video clips that you're going to watch and then answer short quizzes following the video clips. So they're about 3 to 5 questions long. So the first one is on Down syndrome. So you'll notice that it kind of takes you here to this screen, and it gives you an idea of, kind of gives you a description of what the video is going to be about, and then you'll click start. So you'll watch the video and then complete the 5-question quiz. So you notice what happens here, and I'm not sure why this happens sometimes, is that it takes you directly to the quiz and it kind of skips over the video. But you'll notice that you have the option here where it says want to watch the video again. So even though we haven't watched it yet, we'll just click here to say yes, we want to watch the video again, because you need to watch the video before you can actually complete the quiz. And then you'll be directed to the video. I'll stop that there. So the assignment calendar is how you will access those experience the media assignments listed here, which there are 5 of those, and then the 5 chapter quizzes. and the due dates are listed here. The other assignment, the third thing that you will access through the assignment calendar, which is, let's get back to that, which is not listed, which is not available now, will be the final exam. So it will be the same process. So you'll go to like the due date of the final exam, and that would be how you would access it. But we're not going to spend too much time on that yet because that's later down the line. I really want to just focus on the assignments that are due right now. The other component here is the My Virtual Life. So this is, I think, a pretty cool activity. It's kind of like a simulation of like raising a child, and then kind of it, progresses to adulthood. So what you're going to do is two parts. One, do the My Virtual Life Raise a Child, and then the My Virtual Life adult simulation. So you can see I started one already. I have like my child, Randy Jr., who's 8 months old. When you sign up for this, you'll see an option to basically you'll be prompted to answer some questions. And my understanding is that these are some questions about like personality, which there seems to be some genetic component too. So the idea is that they're trying to create a child that probably would mirror a child that you might have in real life based on like the profile that you create. So you'll go through the beginning and answer a series of questions about yourself and just like parenting style. And then you'll have an opportunity to create this profile of this baby. And then you'll kind of go through the different stages of development. So if you see here, I've already started mine. So we're now where the baby is like 8 months old. You'll be kind of given different scenarios and then asked like, how would you handle this? And this will progress from the child's like from birth to 18 years old. Now, there's no right or wrong answer. This is kind of like based on like your parenting style, your approach to child development. So you get credit for doing the virtual child simulation, not and completing all of the questions and going through all of the life events and answering all the activities, but it's not necessary that not necessarily your grade is based on like how you answer the question, just the fact that you're actually taking the time to go through all of the life events and respond to everything, if that makes sense. And if there are any questions about this, feel free to email me. So as you go through this, you'll get different reports at certain like developmental like points or milestones. It may be, here's a first grade report card or a meeting with the teacher. So once those reports are generated, you would need to save that information. Okay? And then you're going to include that with your final paper. The final paper is actually going to be based on this whole activity. Let me go back, sorry. Let me go back here. So that's the first part is the child component. Sorry, go back to the dashboard. The first part is the child component, and then the second part would be the adult component, where you would create the adult profile. So as you notice, you go here, they're asking you to like read all of these agreements and to accept them. So you can go through that, and then you kind of register, and you would answer these questions to create a profile about yourself. So your gender, your partner's gender, and so this is kind of like based on you. So then you would just create like your little, I don't know, I'm thinking of like Nintendo Wii or Me or whatever this would be called. But so you kind of create your avatar. Sorry, there you go. You create your avatar. And it probably would be somebody that kind of closely resembles you and their parents. And then you would answer questions about your personality type. You do a personality quiz and a cognitive quiz. Because again, the idea is that they're trying to create like an avatar or profile of an adult that closely resembles you. And very similar to the child simulation, you're going to go through a series of life events and different scenarios and have to respond to those questions. And so you answer the questions based on your personal preferences. Again, you don't get credit for, the accuracy of your answers, but more so just that you are taking the time to go through all of the answers, all of the life events. So let's see. There is going to be a final paper, and I have instructions about the final paper that I've emailed. And part of your grade is based on, so actually completing the My Virtual Life Raise a Child simulation activity, 15% of the grade on that, and then the Virtual Life Adult Simulation exercise, and then the final paper, which is mostly based on the activities from the child component. So this can kind of, you just kind of pace yourself to get through this between now and when the final paper is due. So I did try to provide a little bit of a breakdown in the syllabus to make it very clear as to how many questions or events you will have to sort of like make your way through for each developmental stage, just to give you an idea of like how much work is involved in this. So you just, well, again, you can do this on your own pace. The problem is that, well, not so much a problem. My only concern is that you have to complete the entire, My Virtual Child and the adult simulation activities between now and the end of the course. So if some people get done with it in maybe like a couple of weeks, and maybe some people take, from now till the end of the semester, that's fine. Again, that's not the amount of time that it takes you to complete it is not going to affect your grade. It's just the important that it's actually all completed. So I think that that's pretty much it in terms of what you need to know right now about the assignments. Again, the key component is to make sure that you have signed up for the My Development Lab course site, and that you are checking the course assignment schedule and the assignment calendar to know when assignments are due. No late assignments will be accepted, especially since we have so much time to complete these assignments. Again, they're all available for you to complete at any time prior to the due date. Something that comes up is oftentimes the My Development Lab course site is closed for maintenance, or sometimes they're upgrading the site, or they might be making some changes. So you want to plan around that. So if the assignments are due, let's say the first one is due, February 5th by 11:59 p.m., probably not a good idea to wait till like 11 o'clock p.m. And then if you encounter issues, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to accept late assignments, especially because you have this entire week to complete the assignment. And just like I said, the other thing is if you're using like a MacBook, then you want to make sure that you're using Google Chrome, because it may not work properly in the Safari browser. If you do encounter an issue if something does not open for whatever reason on your computer, my suggestion would be to try another computer. I know some students have run into that problem in the past, so you want to kind of plan ahead for that. And the final exam, even though we're not, we won't really get into that today because you have plenty of time, it is going to be multiple choice. It will be available to complete through the Pearson My Development Lab website. Like I said, the same way you click on the due date of all the other assignments, that would be the same way you would find the final exam. And then you would just have whatever window of time we decide to complete the final exam. And again, it's submitted online, so you would get your grade. You get feedback right away about your grade for the exam. And you can also keep track of your grades using the Student Grades tab over here. So if you have any concerns, then that's something that you can bring to my attention sooner rather than later. So I think that pretty much covers everything you need to know right now to get started with the course materials. If there are any questions, feel free to email me. I also encourage you to connect with other students in the classroom. The class, of course. I mean, we should try to use the online community to our advantage. So, posting things on the message board, reaching out to other students in the class. I always encourage that. I think that's a good idea. So if people are having questions or concerns about assignments, then you might want to connect with each other as well as reaching out to me. So good luck, and I look forward to reviewing all of your work and just being here to assist in any way that I can. So we will end here, and have a good night.